there are some more hands raised. We'll take those questions as well. But I'll quickly add to what Nina said earlier. And the question is very interesting, which has been, in fact, added on the chat box as well, if I'm not wrong. So for a person with disability, what's more important is to, yes, of course, what Nina said is that you need to understand how inclusive that organization is, right? Do your research, understand whether they are actually an inclusive and accessible and accepting organization or not. So do that research. There's a lot of information already. You can go onto their LinkedIn page, you can go onto their company website, identify their DEI policies, look through all of it, and then make a decision whether you really want to work with that kind of a company or not. Another thing about the accessibility or a reasonable accommodation per se, right? How does that company view reasonable accommodation? That is what you need to understand. If that company just views reasonable accommodation as, oh, we'll have to give some additional support, or, we'll have to give some additional accessibility devices, or, so on, assistive devices for that matter. So that's okay. You can ask for the assistive devices if that is something that is a mandatory requirement for you, right? You can't function. It's like, it's like going and working in a factory which does not have a washroom for women, right? It's as basic as that. Or if there is a particular organization that you're going to, if that organization does not have a wheelchair accessible washroom, it's clearly, visible to you that maybe you will face some kind of difficulty initially, at least, right? And these are questions that you will have to ask at either the start or the end or the mid. But at least before taking up the opportunity or saying yes to the opportunity, you must ask this question, right? Because it's a requirement for you. So I can see special needs such as transport. You can ask whether there is a pickup and drop service or not. Yes, at any point. In fact, even at the start, right? Remote work possibility, again, that is also a question which you may ask. If and usually by now companies have started specifying that, okay, we have 100% remote work option. We do know some companies who are working with us also for placements, and for persons with disability they have a policy, like a full-fledged policy, which says that all persons with disability, we will give them a remote work from home, remote work opportunity, right? About whether you should ask that question or not, again, if it's not specifically mentioned in the JD, then go ahead and ask. Unless you think that you can actually travel to the workplace and you can actually make sure that you're traveling every day. That is, and by now, in fact, most companies have started return to office also. It's no more that COVID period where you will get that 100% work from home. That was happening previously, but now companies have started saying that please come back to office. Or there is an option of a hybrid work model, which is 2 days work from home, 3 days work from office, something like that. So these options are still there. You need to explore, you need to look for those kind of companies that fit best your requirement of, maybe if you want to travel, you don't want to travel, you want a completely work from home opportunity. In fact, we as an organization, Vividhataa, also gives opportunities which are completely work from home for persons with disability, as well as other individuals who are not in Mumbai. Like, we are operating from Mumbai, but there are people working with us from other different locations of India, right? So that's how I'm just elaborating and making this a little more clear.